I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. Diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and this is Conspiracy Monday. I'm dressed in black, which is the color of darkness, that which we cannot see, things that hang out in the dark, shadows, behind the shadows. That's what we're dealing with, a shadow government lingering in the background, paying off our public officials with big bribes, where we don't even know what they're getting. We see what they're getting for re-election. We know that Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham are both getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Russians to get reelected. So you can see how deep the Russian hook is in our political structure. Good evening, A. Spade. Welcome. Talking about the mistreatment of the illegals. You saying it's way overblown? I don't know. No, I think it's serious. In fact, you know the two Border Patrol officers that were found with gunshot wounds about 2-3 weeks ago? Yeah. They most likely were killed by their commanding officer, in my opinion, as a sign to all the other people to not complain about anything. Yeah, that's what I think happened. And that both of the shootings happened, alleged suicides, happened nearly the same day, same time, and 300 miles away near Nogales, New Mexico, where all of the concentration camps are located. So if somebody said, hey, I'm not going to put up with this, commanding officer says, hey, yeah, well, we're going to make a sign of anybody who complains here and puts a bullet in their head, and then everybody stops talking. All right, well, Jeffrey Epstein's here from prison chatting. He says he's got enough goods to take everybody down. I believe you, Jeffrey. You say if the whole show goes down, the dead man switch, everybody goes down. Yeah, I hear you, man. I know you've got all the goods on everybody. Somebody said you were a Mossad. Is that true? That you're former Mossad or you're Mossad agent, Jeffrey? Imagine having Jeffrey Epstein in the chat. Isn't that amazing? If we believe it, you know. So you think Trump is being racist by saying that people who should go back to where they came from. He didn't say back to their home country or back to their roots or anything. He just said back to where they came from. Well, that's not racist, man. I don't know how you Democrats can run around calling people racist when you were the ones refusing to sign the Civil Rights Act. I mean, don't you realize that most of the Democrats are racist, like Hillary Clinton, who said, and I quote, that all blacks look alike? She said that. I would never say that, but she said that. That's just terribly racist. Yeah. I have proof that Hillary Clinton said that, yeah. All right, well, the shirt is not royally dark blue. It's dark black with a light tinge because I've got color correction going on, but the shirt came from a Chinese heroin addict that I did some work for back in the 80s. He handed me a couple of shirts that he didn't want on his rack anymore. He said, this is payment for 30 days of my labor. It's unfortunate I ran into this guy. He was a producer. He had his mother and father put up the note on his production facility, and he used me. Yeah, so I wear a faded black shirt on my road trips. I was used. He said he wanted to make a TV show, and he had me cast a bunch of people, honest people, that came forth and read their lines perfectly. A couple of them were really, really nice, pretty. And then when we picked out the best of the best, he said, yeah, he's not going to do it after all. I said, what? Why would you do it in the first place? He said, just to get laid. Yeah, 5-foot guy, Chinese, ex-heroin addict, did it just to get laid. And he said he found 2 women to do it with. So I was in the very heart of the Me Too Hollywood scene when I literally was being used by this guy just to get laid. Yeah. Broadcaster, how you doing? Vacation's going well. We're enjoying first-class accommodations. We're in a 5-star hotel. We're enjoying everything about this aspect, but the weather's been grueling. If you're not indoors in air conditioning, it can get very hot anywhere in the East and the Midwest. You're a midget. Well, that's the way you are. That's the way you'll have to accept the way you are. You have no way of changing it. Everything affects the way anybody is with women. If you don't look perfect in the eyes of others, you feel like you've got a big, huge personal body complex. Everyone does. Even people that look good have a body complex, so you're not alone. Good evening, Sunstar. Welcome. But yeah, the Harvey Weinstein story never really materialized. I mean, he hasn't served any time. He's still fighting one extra suit. I think they'll throw that out of court too. But there is no intention to have war with Iran. Nothing's delaying war with Iran. Trump just keeps fanning the flame of war with Iran, and now claiming he could, quote, wipe out Afghanistan. Yeah. But he says he's ready for the absolute worst with Iran. And he's also claiming he can wipe Afghanistan off the face of the earth. Boy, what an incredibly irresponsible president we have. Isn't that sad that we picked and all these Trump tards actually believe him because Trump used my ideas to get elected? Isn't that amazing? Tens of thousands of Puerto Ricans are demanding their governor resign. Oh, I'll have to check into that scandal. Chatgate scandal. Okay, I'll find out about that later. Hong Kong crisis escalated after mob attacks on protesters. Okay, and now Trump says the U.S. is ready for the absolute worst with Iran. Well, isn't it nice for a guy like him, who's a draft dodger, who never served any time in the military? Yeah, Trump got a pass claiming he had foot plant. I guess it was bone spurs, which, by the way, requires surgery. And I studied bone spur the technical aspect of the surgeries. And both types of surgeries that are out there require incisions. There's a laparoscopic method of dealing with bone spurs where they actually go in from the top of the foot and pull them out. But both of them would have a scar. So if Trump did have bone spurs, he would have had surgery, right? Because you can't walk on bone spurs. No, I'm the one who had hauled these ideas, and he stole them, MRB. Nice try, though. He's poorly implemented everything, too. It's rough for me because I'm looking from afar going, How many of these mistakes that Trump is making right now will I have to correct? It's getting to be ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, Obama had that alien scar on his head, right, Cellfire? And we talked about that last week, but the fact is Trump would have scars on his feet showing that he had bone spur surgery. So if he can't produce those scars, then we would actually assume that he lied on his draft papers. Yeah. Bless you. Gesundheit. So it turns out that the two daughters of the podiatrist that wrote the signature excuse for Trump to get off of 5 separate draft hearings, the daughters say that their father never paid rent. Never paid rent for his building, and it was owned by Fred Trump. Isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
Fred Trump had anybody he wanted written off of going to war when 58,000 men, mostly, died in the Vietnam War. There were a couple of brave nurses that probably saw some gunfire. But 58,000 brave men died, and they were your fathers and your uncles and your grandfathers. They are all dead. But Trump is running around with his mouth threatening war with Iran and Afghanistan like a big man. Do you have any idea how foolish that is of him to do that? He is appearing to the world as a complete imbecile. Almost, it's like watching The Simpsons when you watch his administration. And I've never really watched The Simpsons for personal reasons. It does not require special skill to lie as often as Trump. No, anybody can try to lie all they want and get caught in those lies. It takes a really good memory to lie all the time and get away with it. Trump doesn't get away with it. He's been caught in over 5,000 or 6,000 lies since he became president. You can disagree without calling someone out of their name. Yeah, you can agree or to disagree with that. Okay, whatever. We're inviting people who dislike our show to come on in. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't have a personal stake in this. I don't really want to call you people tards either. I've only done it because you behave like tards since you started voting for the libtard Obama and the Trump-tard Trump. Thank you. No, I believe that the morals and values that this nation and this world possess are keeping it together like glue. I believe that the immoral people who want to commit genocide and wipe the face of the earth off of everybody, especially Muslims that they're attacking, I think that's insane, and that truly is amoral or immoral. The genocidal elitists that want to kill people slowly with food that they eat, GMOs in our diet, is slowly causing cancer in our bodies, chemtrails being dumped on our heads, and oh man, I had a discussion with a friend of mine, and he jokingly says, "Oh yeah, Dave thinks that there's chemicals in the air when it's just the exhaust fumes from planes." Calling me a conspiracy theorist, trying to denigrate me. I mean, what a joke. Trying to deny the truth as we see it, and you cannot lie when you see it day in, day out, flying above your head. Chemtrails over waters makes me brain dead. You see it all the time in this world. I can bring it to you right in front of your face and show it to you, and you'd still deny it. Oh man, that's just exhaust fumes coming from the back of the plane. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what they do. They just dump fumes whenever they go anywhere. I'm promising 11/11. My deal stands. It beats Warren and Trump and Yang. Yeah, the 11/11 per month will beat Warren and Yang's offer, and I'm offering it if either Yang or Warren win the nomination. I don't think they will. I think Biden's still got it locked up. I upped it to 11/11 only if those two win the nomination. If not, we're still back at $500 a month, which is my original. I'm the guy who originated the basic income plan recently in American history. In 2012, Sarah and I wrote about it in our book, Hybrid Capitalism, which is still available at americasthirdparty.com for download for 99 cents. I don't have a zipper in the back of my head, and it's not real footage. Everything they're doing is to slander the show. They make a lot of money doing that. Mark has made T. Rucker and Lot Lizard and United American and Ghost Politics big money. I'm talking millions of dollars. I've made nothing, not a penny, since I started this. No, we're going to shoot for $15 an hour for minimum wage, but I do have a plan to sidestep the Democrats and the Republicans who want to continually argue on this issue. We're going to get an opportunity for businesses to get an infrastructure loan of 2%, and only if they hire at $15 an hour, U.S. employees. So U.S. businesses will get this infrastructure loan of 2% if they hire U.S. employees at a $15 an hour wage. This is a brilliant sidestep to the minimum wage controversy between the Republicans and Democrats. It doesn't force companies into a major down cycle. Now that includes a restaurant. A restaurant wants a 2% business loan to expand and maybe, do some advertising and open up a larger venue. Maybe even pay their employees more. That would be great. But a lot of restaurants close their doors because their salaries are $15 an hour. It's unsustainable in certain areas. It has not been passed on a national level, no. Not by the Republicans. Sorry. They say $15 an hour will cause 31 million job losses. And I tend to worry about that. I'm not going to agree with it, but I worry about that. Yeah. Some of you are buying your condoms in antique stores. I don't recommend it. I understand that the condoms only have a shelf life of about, 10 years? 10 years, they say. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but...
Do you think the condoms would last?
I'll look it up.
The shelf life of a condom would be around 10 years, I would think. Assuming it's not exposed to a lot of sun. Yeah. Hey, good question, though. Thank you for worrying about the shelf life of a condom. Well, because no one wants to get their body part dirty, Ace Spade, unless you're a sick perv. 5 years is the length of time these things will last.
And the ones with spermicide are only
2 years. 3 years with spermicide, 5 years just latex.
They have an expiration date and the date it was manufactured printed on the back of the packaging, at least for the boxes.
Okay. What about the ones made out of actual catgut from 1942 that my father had to use? Ergo, we had Dave, Actually, I was planned. I think the first condoms were catgut, yeah. Not sure. Sheep stomach? Well, you know a lot more than I do, Max. You're an expert on condoms. No, we don't know anything about condoms. That's why we're asking you, the audience. Sheep stomach? Good. Well, Conspiracy Monday is about things other than condoms, but hey, why not just jump right in, right? Okay. I bet they are, yeah. Must be rough being that small. So anyone have any questions about life? Great. But tonight's Conspiracy Monday, and I think it's safe to say that we're all being poisoned to death, slowly. And I'm not making that up. I mean, I look at everybody around me, they seem so polluted, Have you noticed how polluted everybody seems? Have you ever noticed that people look like they're fish in a little fish bowl in their own bodies? It's just weird. Well, they're putting all kinds of poisons in our environment and slowly trying to kill off the human race. That's what really Conspiracy Monday is about. The incel movement is a part of the conspiracy plan to make all of you men unable to have sex and not find a mate and never ever replicate. So with you incels, it's already worked. So there's no help for you. You've already fallen into the trap of being an incel. The mindset was created by the Tavistock Institute as they programmed us to become transgenders and incels. Any of you who have a thought in your brain that supports Trump, you're an idiot. The only reason why you're supporting Trump is because he stole 15 of my ideas. Yeah, thank you. Well, the Tavistock Institute is running a program of transgenderism throughout the country, and many of you are falling suspect to it. You're eating soy. Many of you men are like starting to look at other guys with, that thing. Oh yeah, oh no. And I think that's the soy in your diet, pushing esters through your bloodstream, turning you into homosexual. But that's okay. Tavistock is the source of most of this. They have a conflict right now. Their own governor that runs the operation is defecting because he refuses to fall into this gap of transgenderism. So even within their own ranks, they're having problems. Trump stole ideas. Oh my gosh. He stole the 1,000-mile fence idea. He called it a wall. And somebody said, who's going to pay for it? And he forgot because he never really watched our show. We're going to have Mexico pay for it. And of course, that was ridiculous. Well, Al Franken should be sorry for doing anything. I mean, he should be sorry for trying to grab that woman's body part when she was asleep. Now he's sorry he resigned. The man doesn't have any credible, backing. Okay, we got the first pictures of Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. Let's take a look. I can't wait to see. I'm wondering why he's playing Mr. Rogers. Gaze at him as he sings "A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." Here he is. Official trailer.
Hello, neighbor.
Hey, I'm looking for Fred Rogers.
My neighbor. Hello, neighbor.
Apparently they just play that over and over again because that's the only thing he's actually learned to say. He's still working on it. Hello, neighbor. I was going to do the show completely in Mr. Rogers the other day, but I was unable to do it. Sarah said maybe we could talk about conspiracies, maybe, as Mr. Rogers. Top Gun 2 is out, yeah. I understand Val Kilmer is going to make an appearance in that. I haven't seen him speak yet after his surgery and his throat chemotherapy, radiation therapy for throat cancer, but gosh, you gotta love these guys who are out there pushing the envelope. Val Kilmer, who would have ever thought he was going to survive this? Yeah, the blimp plane was my idea. Trump acted like it was a joke on April Fool's Day. Yeah, I think Val Kilmer is really a great actor, and I'm sorry about all these men who've been performing oral sex on women and getting throat cancer. But apparently it's curable. The HPV virus is not, deadly in that respect. Unless you get no treatment, then you die. Won't you be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor. I don't know. Val Kilmer may be a friend of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. He hung out with some pretty heavy drug dealers back in the day. Remember when Val Kilmer played in the movie Requiem? No. Salton Sea. Salton Sea, that was one of his turning point movies where he just went down into this abyss of narcissism. Won't you be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor. Welcome to the show. It's bad to want to destroy the world. Many of these genocidal maniacs who have all the power want to make bad things happen. But we know that's bad. We know we can do better. Well, I want to bring you back to the reality that you are here watching me, even my vacation mode. ATP Travel Show continues despite all odds. We upload now to America's Third Party so you can watch our previous shows. Yeah, well, I think Tom Cruise is one of the most unrecognized actors in the world. I do. I think Tom Cruise has a deep personal side that he could easily tap into if it wasn't for Scientology, which completely eliminates his personal side and makes him unable to approach the depth of a deep actor. Yeah, I think he should just kind of give up Scientology. He could just create a whole new life. But that's just me, I mean, think of he'd be reunited with his wife and kid, and think of all the good things that would happen to you, Tom. But I'm not saying anything bad about this religion. I'm just saying I think he should just give it up. Surely you can walk out of a religion, right? You wonder. I knew a Scientologist, but she wasn't a Scientologist when I met her, Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart. I met her when she was just a 20-year-old college student, and she looked like a 12-year-old. She later became a Scientologist. I don't know her anymore, but I met her that day, and I'd never seen a person act like a 12-year-old more than she did. I was 17 at the time I met her. It's like, she literally was playing with her dollies on the floor of Sproul Hall at UCLA. It's like, hi, I've got dollies. So I understand you do voices. Yeah, I do voices. Here, look at this voice. And she started using Bart's voice with one of the dollies. It's like, wow. You knew Nancy Cartwright in high school? You. See, we're about the same age. She, of course, looks 10 years older than me because, obviously, the vagaries of greed and avarice and Scientology have worn her thin. Short actors do well. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not going to play any broadcast monetization of Maverick, official trailers, all that, Top Gun, the whole deal. I don't think it's appropriate I play more than 6 seconds of it. Good, that's all I could play. Thank you. I'll have to look at that later. Short people rock. Short people rock. Yeah, is this like a midget genre in rock and roll you're putting together? Why? Why, when we've got countless midgets in rock and roll? Randy Newman? Yeah. Elton John? I mean, think of all the people that are short in rock and roll. Jeffrey Epstein, he's short. Did you know that he had an egg-shaped beep? Sorry. You know, somebody said, Dave, what's the gayest movie you've ever seen? I've never watched gay movies. How would I know what a gay movie is? I have seen some recent television productions that are trying to slip in gayness all over the place. Have you noticed that? Whenever you're watching TV, well, that's the Tavistock Institute and their transgender, their formula for changing the culture, making us all accept LGBTQ as a norm. Well, by the way, I'm not pro-LGBTQ. Hey, Anita, we're not trying to broadcast to your brain. Don't worry. Being gay, they want it to be the new norm, Eric. That's why they're pushing it. So you're watching a movie and all of a sudden you see two guys, touching each other and kissing each other. It's like, this is totally bumming my experience. Zeno, you're not allowed to say that word here. You know that. I'm amazed that Mark unbanned it because that's a hate crime. He's going to be charged with a hate crime if he allows that to continue on his terms of service should be outlawing that word. You've got Picard's official trailer too? Oh boy, you're really into sci-fi, aren't you?
I'd like a bar of chocolate, please.
No. Some sort of a Bill Cosby ad here.
Have you ever been a stranger to yourself?
Many, many times.
Side of me says that I'm safe with you.
That's all I can play, thank you. It was enjoyable. Just first trailers, I don't care about these trailers. Or the Cammie Secret Dub. That looks pretty weird. The Cammie Secret Dub. I'll have to watch that later. Okay, well, we're having some fun tonight. Doctor, what? Trump is ready for the absolute worst of Iran, and he said he can wipe Afghanistan off the face of the earth, yet he can't wipe his own ass. This draft dodger turned president is now threatening the world. When are you people going to wake up and realize this is completely off the track of American history? The Illuminati decided to take their stool pigeon, who they own financially, and control his finances, which I guess Trump owes $1.6 billion. Is that right? Yeah. He's got a lot of leverage against him. Yeah, he's got a lot of leverage. Yeah, for your information, he bankrupted all his casinos. We keep going over this every night, so you get it through your thick head. Yeah, and then one man, $1.6 billion in debt. Billion. That's $1,600 million in debt. Suddenly he's an expert at reducing the national debt? I mean, come on. Jeez Louise. Let me tell you. Bill Cosby is America's #1 criminal right now. He's serving a 3-year term for having drugged women and forced them to have sex. But they didn't even know they were having sex with them. Well, probably having sex with a guy like Bill Cosby would be like not even knowing if you're having sex. Trump is not rich compared to Bill Gates or Jeff. Trump is a low-level wannabe. Yeah. Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, they aren't even rich compared to the trillions of dollars that Jacob Rothschild has. Yeah. Trump has about as much money as Alki David from Battle Camp. I mean, really. You found the PP tapes? Well, you better dry them off. Yeah. Get those PP tapes in the sun, they'll dry right off. I know, Sunstar, we're learning binary computer language too. It's a short movie about 20. I don't watch short movies. I only watch long episodic adventures that take 15 years to watch. I have yet to even get into the Game of Thrones because I know when I sit down I'm going to watch every one of them until they're complete, until I get to the nth point. I'm a serial episodic viewer. I can't stop. Yeah, exactly. Trump's a wannabe billionaire. He's on record. He may have $3 billion. He doesn't have $10 billion in net worth, like he said. He lied. Hey, coming up, Robert Mueller is going to be testifying, I think, in a couple days, and they say that he's going to be pushing for impeachment. Isn't that wonderful? No, I wouldn't like it. No, Griffin, that's a waste of your time. You're not going to get any money from Mark anymore. Yeah, he stopped paying all of you hosers. Yeah, you think you're going to get your money from Mark when you do that? Come on, give it up, guys. God, I can't believe anybody would dox our show like that. Having sex with Bill Cosby was like sleeping through the worst show on earth and wondering why your body is aching all over. I don't know. I've never had sex with Bill Cosby. I am running for 2020, yeah. But nobody knows about it because of the censorship, and you haven't figured that out yet. A lot of you long-term viewers haven't realized they've been censored so heavily. It's unbelievable. It's never loading. Why don't you just go watch us at Cool Rock, Anita? I told you, Vaughn is off limits to you. They banned 350 million VPNs. I can't control it. Okay, 6 seconds of madness. Why in North Korea? Possible Huawei secretly helped North Korea build and maintain wireless network. You know, are we supposed to monitor everything North Korea is doing now that Donald Trump is good friends with Kim Jong-un? I think not. Let's be real here. You know, Donald Trump is now bosom buddies with a mass murderer named Kim Jong-un, so I don't think Huawei selling to North Korea is that big of a deal anymore. You guys who are all worried about that must know that Putin is in charge of North Korea. He controls what they do. If Huawei wants to buy something or sell something there, they can, yeah. I don't know, you can't talk through both sides of your mouth, say, oh, I'm working on negotiations with Kim Jong-un, but we're not negotiating anything at all. Yeah. Well, let's be clear. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm back. Wow, paid dockers. Paid doxers. Wow. See, they're coming in like gangbusters here. You know, there's a conspiracy theory that the 5G network is designed to microwave the entire face of the earth and kill everybody on it. That's my conspiracy theory. I believe it was the 5G network was, yeah, broadcast, they really do. I believe the 5G network was created by AI. And I don't mean the lube, okay? No, I don't need your modding. It's all good. Okay, let's say National Post. Yeah, I have that article. Yeah, let's take a look. Jeffrey Epstein case may expose the rich and powerful in unsealed 2,000 pages of documents. Check this out for a wide week. Jeffrey Epstein may very well have the goods on so many people that he may very well open up a new case against Donald Trump. Yeah, remember Donald Trump was #1 on his blacklist. Well, the documents are from civil lawsuit filed by Epstein accuser against his one-time companion Ghislaine Maxwell. If this guy doesn't look guilty, I don't know who does. Since Jeffrey Epstein arrest, the speculation is mounted: will any among the rich and powerful be courted, be caught up in the case? Yeah, a judge could decide on July 24th when to unseal the trove of documents, some 2,000 pages worth. Wow, that's something I think the American people need to know. If he's up to no good, we need to find this out. And you can rest assured Donald Trump is among one of those people that's got an involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. He's been decades his friend. I know the Mueller report's going to probably encourage impeachment. Yes. Thank you, Master Meatball. Trump 2020, who's he? You know, we don't allow that kind of crap here. You have a bet on Mueller, really? I don't know. Maybe Mueller wouldn't it be something if he doesn't make it? He is pretty old and crotchety, but I understand he did it for the money. That he took $40 million for all the ridiculous crap that he did. Mueller didn't even do a good job. That 5G stuff is in our face. Trump supports it, by the way. So if you're still a Trump supporter and you want to get your head zapped every time you drive into some city like Cleveland, go right ahead. Continue getting your head zapped. Trump supports the 5G. I would limit its use and stop its use in certain areas until we put limiters on it. People are betting on whether Mueller will live. Oh my gosh. Some people are putting bets. Check this out, folks. This is pretty wild. This link, predicted.org, is really bizarre. Yeah. Yeah, they got this complete assessment as to whether Mueller is going to make it or not. Let's go there. Here are the rules. Yeah, it's got like bets on Mueller will mention Clinton on July 24th. 70 cents says yes, 30 cents says no. Now, I'm not in any way involved in online betting. I'm just showing you this link, okay? Mueller will mention the word impeach on July 24th. 55 yes, and 45 cents says no. So you can win and lose money on these things. Senate will pass Special Counsel Act in 2019. Yes, 4%. No, 96. Most people don't think the Congress will do anything. They're like lame duck Democrats. The lame duck Democrats. Yeah. Well, I don't put bets on anything, especially the future of this country. Now, India has decided to get in on the moon hoax thing, and they said that they're sending an unmanned mission to moon's far side. Oh yes, I'm sure that they will land in a pile of cheese. India's space agency says it's launched an unmanned spacecraft to the far side of the moon. Well, I launched an unmanned fart to the far side of the moon. Does that make me a scientist or a nuclear physicist? I just launched an unmanned fart to the dark side of the moon. Yeah, no footage, nothing. I don't believe it. 5G is everywhere. It's in Cleveland, it's in Chi-Town, it's all through Boston. Yeah. But it doesn't go all the way up the coastline or down the coastline in some areas. So it's still penetrating our country without any oversight whatsoever by science. The 5G network, they ran a mast study in Amsterdam at The Hague. They fired up the mast and it killed 300 birds instantly. They all dropped. And then the ecology department claimed that the birds had some rare disease. I mean, it's ridiculous. This stuff is completely untested. Mankind would never have developed such an idiotic plan to microwave the Earth. It'd have to be AI. Anyway, I was nice to this friend for like 4 or 5 days, visiting him, and acting like everything was cool, except when I started realizing this guy doesn't believe in anything I say. He considers me a conspiracy whack job. I do believe that chemtrails and 5G work together, Riker. They call it weather modification, and they're actually manipulating the atmosphere by dumping heavy metals in it and sending radar through it. I'll check it out. Don't post it 15 times, though.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important
India.
email to a colleague.
So it's like a projected view of India in 2030. Thanks. I'm sure I'll want to watch it some other time in some other life. I'll put it in my watch list, though. Thanks. Cool. Yes, Dave. It may rain everywhere. David, you are a whack job. You are a total waste of space. I'm going to mute you. You believe 9.0 earthquakes followed by 325-foot tsunamis, or what are you predicting the future of the Earth? It's solar radiation management, it's weather modification, you name it. They're just trying to play God with the weather. It's written in the Bible that the devil owns the air. Read it. You'll be shocked. Wow, Dave, that guy was an active chatter here for a long time. He called me a nut job. Led Zeppelin Rules hides under that name, and he's been using that name for multiple times in our show. He's one of these guys that lingers just long enough to make a statement. But I muted him because I kind of like hearing things from the other side. You know, the side that has no intelligence. It's just fun. It's kind of like a litmus test on how stupid the world can be. I just enjoy having that little feedback sometimes from Led Zeppelin. Chemtrails, that's what I'm talking about. No, these are not contrails, that's a lie, and I can't allow that in the show. I'm so sorry. I'm clearing chat. Please don't post anything on contrails. Thank you. Well, Sarah's going to make an appearance.
I'm going to charge my phone, use the restroom, and then I'll make it.
Okay, she's going to use the restroom, charge her phone. We got an amazing hotel suite tonight, so we're in a great place. Very nice. I made dinner with basic ingredients. I've been using these Annie's organic mac and cheese packages, and a can of black beans and some sliced chicken that we had from a previous meal, onions, and snap peas, and carrots. I mixed it all together with bacon. It was good. I didn't have any seasoning. My seasoning pack was out in the car. But we pulled in here and we set up, and man, it's great to have a kitchen in your suite, you know. It's not like a microwave in a kitchen, you know, refrigerator. It's an actual kitchen. Well, hopefully I'll be home. You know, I figured out that my life at my house was worth at least $150 a day. So, being it costs $150 to have a day to have a place as nice as my home, I calculated my house was worth $40,000 a year. Isn't that great? Maybe even more than that. Yeah, 150 a day minimum though, Max. Well, I'm not here to talk about or espouse the virtue of Zionism. As you know, I'm an anti-Zionist. I believe that we no longer have to worry about a state of Israel. It exists. Now we can stop the New World Order and put an end to this globalization, which is clearly not working. Well, I just realized, I told Sarah, I'm saving at least $40,000 or $50,000 a year by living in my house. How cool is that? I know. The more you go out and travel, the more you realize how you appreciate a home that you may own. Yeah. I did not mention the Bible. I just said that it is written that the devil shall inhabit the air. It is in Revelations. If you are here for religious purposes, you must go to the other show. Trump is riding the coattails of the Republican Party, but he's also going to drag it down, too. No, of course the moon landing didn't happen, but the reality is many of you believe it did. But that does not mean that there's a flat Earth. And that's where you're blowing it, Xenu. Just like if you believe that the Zionist takeover of our world has dominated politics in America, that doesn't mean you deny the Holocaust. You people who believe the holo-hoax and the flat Earth theories are actually falling into a CIA trap designed for you. It's to trivialize your entire belief system. So while you're going, oh yeah, NASA didn't land on the moon, oh, wait a second, it says here that the Earth is flat, and then everyone in your family thinks you're a complete flat Earth theory person. Instead of looking at the reality that we never really took photographs of the moon landing. In fact, NASA asked every network to resend them because they didn't have a copy of it. Seriously, I'm not making that up. The holo-hoax theory was designed to make you anti-Zionists look like idiots at the dinner table. Of course the Holocaust happened. And Hitler was a Zionist. Hitler was a Zionist because the entire plan to build Israel was the Balfour Declaration, dating back to 1917, way before Hitler's time. Hitler did what he had to do to build the necessity for a state of Israel. It's just so stupid that you'd even think that Hitler wasn't a Zionist. Biden's a Zionist. Trump's a Zionist. Hitler was a Zionist. You do the math. Now I'm going to let Sarah take over and have a very pleasant show, and I'm not going to talk about anything as serious as what I just talked about.
You want me to come in the other way?
No, I'm good. I just want to...
You can exit that.
No, I'm good. I'm just going to step out, and the camera will take over the rest. I think the camera's close enough to hear you. No problem.
Okay, except my shirt is dark blue. Anyway, I'm gonna find the chat so I can see what you guys are typing in the room. Hello, everybody, to all our fans. Please make sure that you are, if you're watching this in recorded broadcasts, please know that you can join our chat room every night at either ivlog.tv/America's Third Party. It might be ivlog.tv/user/America's Third Party. And then also vonlive.live/third party, or is it vonlive.tv/third party? Anyway, all of those places that we're broadcasting from. And I vlog, like the letter I, like iPod, but it's iVlog, like I as in igloo, V as in Victor, L as in Lincoln, O as in octopus, G as in George, iVlog.tv. Blue Medic believes Von Live, Von VAUGHN.LIVE/third party, the word THIRDPARTY gets more viewers than IVLOG.TV/user/America's Third Party. Anyway. Thank you for your statements and your beliefs. Led Zeppelin rules. Enjoy. I'm glad you're here. iVlog banned some people. We do have a couple of moderators over at iVlog. We don't really usually have any moderators over at Von Live. A Maxed Out Credit calls me the Worm Queen. Yes. Some people say I resent that. I say I represent that. Yes, I could go with the Worm Queen. I do like my worms. They're very cool. They are very cool. You missed my hair? Here's my hair right here. Anyway, did I see this on my trip? Amazon images. No, who is that? Is that what's his name? Is that Awesome Carl? What the heck? I'm getting rid of this. That's pretty funny. Not on this trip. We have seen him drag king, but not on this trip. I have a lot of walking to do the next few days. And I'm wondering, and my feet have been hurting. So, oh well. I've got to suck it up and do it for what I want to see. Maybe I should go to buy some new shoes. Hello, Big Outlaw. But I have so many shoes at home. I just only brought like one pair with me on my, and then I wanted to wear a skirt, and that doesn't really go with my shoes because I have these like purple tennis shoes that I brought on my trip. Well, whatever. I'll just do it. People and I vlog cast with no screen or video. How can you cast on screen with no video? They just like a podcast? I agree with you, Blue Medic. Hello, Juan. I'm not like a women in shoe. I don't normally collect shoes, but yeah, that's true. I can't go monument touring with 5-inch heels. That's true. That's a good point. So I'll just have to wear my tennis shoes. And I actually today, I stopped into like a, yeah, we're still traveling for about another 2 weeks. I stopped in today at like this pharmacy store. I had a little bit of a indigestion, so I had to get some antacid. But I also decided to get these, while I was there, I got some more pads for my shoes. I'm wearing nice shoes. I'm wearing Clark's, but I think I just bruised my foot with all of my monument touring. But I have had so much fun monument touring. Can't wait to tell you all about it when I get home. It was this weekend was particularly good. Nope, Vinny, she does not. She actually did some kind of, David can tell you all about it, some kind of strike without even asking us to pull our videos or something like that. Frog Dog, you're gonna unfriend everybody. You're getting your Hog Slammer account back soon. Okay. Yeah, it's true. I have like triple inserts, gel inserts, and then some other inserts, but I think that'll work out well. Is that Dr. Schultz maybe knows what he's talking about? Haha, pirate. I agree with you, Sosadi. Any week without mosquitoes is good, even if I have to pay for it right now. Paying for the hotel rooms. Once I get back home, it'll be so lovely to not have all those mosquitoes. My left arm is fading out, true. My mosquito bites are fading, so that's good. Oh, I was wondering who is this squad they're talking about? Fruitcake Fort. That's not the picture. Who is actually the squad that they're referring to? My friend was watching Fox News and I was like, who is this squad? I know AOC and Omar than someone else. Yes, good news when my bites go away, then I don't look like I'm like ill or something. Good, except try to get people to stop taking out loans. Hello, Riker Styles. What am I yapping about? Thank you, Zenu. You're so sweet. I should just look up that. Who is the squad? Sarah, can you think of any three-dimensional objects that comprises of just two surfaces? I mean, one, what about less than two surfaces, like a sphere? So a hemisphere would be one, is a three-dimensional object that has two surfaces because you have like the half sphere and then the plane. The other one I was thinking of is like a toroid. Ice cream goes with it. Ben and Jerry's. A scoop. Yeah, a scoop. Ice cream goes with it. Ice cream. Banana. A cone. A cylinder. Oh, a cone. That's true. That's, yes, you're right. A cone. Good one. Good job, Max out credit. You got the hemisphere right, I'm sure. Okay, wait. Squad. Politics. To figure out who this is. Oh, are you giving me a picture too? That's like that thing. I've got a girl who wears a short skirt and a long jacket. Master Meatball, that's funny. Okay. Ayanna Presley of Massachusetts, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Rashid Tlaib. Tlaib? I wonder if I'm saying her name right. Anyway, I really wonder that. Yes, that's the squad. Okay. Okay, thank you for... But it didn't have their names. At least now I know who they are. Aos. Really? Oh my goodness, that's pretty crazy. Hello, Tiddly D. You want to see me sing a song? I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. Oh, that's so weird. It's a little bit weird, Master Meatball, if I must say. Yeah, the Four Horsemen is a spiritual thing. Squat, eh? No, I don't know the song at all. He is the master. That's true, maxed out credit. And a meatball. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and wallowed in something in land of Tipperary. I don't know. Is that the Puff the Magic Dragon song? I don't know all the words. Okay. I'm reacting to the air conditioning too in a positive way or just freezing way. Maybe another day, Master Meatball. Oh, I think you are right about the land of Honolulu, Mr. B. It used to be, actually this is not amber anymore. It was amber, but then my amber piece fell out. Then David put in this cut
What?
quartz. He called it a cut diamond or an uncut diamond.
Oh, it was an uncut diamond,
I called
yeah.
it cut quartz.
Well, it was actually an uncut diamond.
Anyway,
Whatever.
then I lost it. It fell out in the garden.
Yeah.
David's like, if you're gonna lose a stone in the garden, you deserve a stone from the garden. So I
Well,
went out in the garden and got me a stone.
It was a pebble. It happened to be a really
a pebble in
small
the
pebble in
garden.
the garden.
He's like, this'll work.
Well, we haven't yet replaced the uncut diamond yet, so I'm still looking for another one to replace it. I'm not done yet. I look at every shop I go into.
But I actually like this. I've gotten more comments on it since you put this
Well, good. That's a good thing.
pebble in than I even had with the quartz or diamond thing.
Wow.
And almost as much, if not more, than the amber.
Cool.
People are
That's
like,
kinda cool
they
to
think
have
it's like a mood ring or something.
The mood is pebble. I'm Bam Bam and you're Pebbles.
Yeah, you could get graphite and put it in there. Graphite would fall apart too.
We're looking for a replacement uncut diamond. I haven't found one. Yeah. I really do want to get a really nice one for that. And this time I'm going to really put a double epoxy on it because, you know, that uncut diamond will be found someday in the garden now. Somebody will say, look at this. Won't that be a cool moment when they find that?
Is this my wedding ring? I'm not married, so I've never had a wedding.
You should tell your students about that and say that in the garden somewhere there's an uncut diamond.
Yeah, and they'll be searching for it.
Forever.
In the garden somewhere is something that I call cut quartz because I think it was cut, but I don't think it was diamonds.
Well, I do, and I was
And David calls an uncut diamonds.
I was told by many of my relatives that it was.
Oh, that worked out, tiddly-dee. That was very cute. Music.
It was passed down for about 50 years. My grandfather.
You can get a national Herkimer diamonds.
What about a zirconian? The perfect zirconian that would like glisten.
Dr. Meow says cesium 56 ring
No,
is
I don't want
great.
radioactive.
And he says it lasts for a lifetime, but once you start wearing it, your lifetime is only for about a month.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking a zirconium. I made a custom zirconium to build for it. You don't like zirconium? It's artificial.
Yeah, I don't really,
Must
I'm
be
not that
natural.
my thing.
Maybe we'll get another amber for it, or perhaps a real diamond. Maybe a 4-carat real diamond would be nice.
This is like a polished stone. It's polished, but
It was naturally polished by God.
there you go.
It's God's polishing.
My hands are disappearing, so they can't really see it. It
Oh.
looks like it's glowing.
Well, thank you for giving me a break. You want to take a nap now and get some rest, watch
Yeah,
some
you
TV?
want? Yes, I do, because I'm totally hooked on this weird show
Okay, go for
with
it.
these weird people.
I'll take over. My position is returning.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was outstanding. It's nice to have a casual environment here in the hotel of our dreams. Dream Hotel, I call it. Your wife is a diamond broker? You're not talking off your ass? Okay, what about her ass? Oh, no offense. Catfish? I don't think so. Sarah likes worms, composting, stones. I think she'd love a really beautiful diamond. But they are overpriced. And the truth is, diamonds are, that whole diamonds are a girl's best friend was created by the De Beers Diamond Company, along with all these other catchphrases. Diamond is forever. De Beers bought up all the property in Arkansas, I know. And they bought up all this property, and there's only one national park in Arkansas that some people can go diamond hunting. One girl actually found an uncut diamond recently, a 7-carat. But they're so prevalent, De Beers bought up all the land in Arkansas. You can find diamonds in the ground out there. So they created the false scarcity. That was part of the scheme to create the value of diamonds. Gold is much more valuable than diamonds, in the real sense. Yeah, Arkansas State Park, Crater State Park, there you go. Master Meatball has got the link on his fingertips. Aren't you something? Master Meatball's thinking of going there, maybe. Doing some diamond mining of your own. Yeah, check it out. Here it is. You can become a guest of the Arkansas State Park, where you actually apply to go there. Crater of Diamond State Park. Look at this.
Oh, I have heard of that one.
Well, I'm got it right on the screen here. It's amazing.
Should we go there on our road trip?
No, we'd have to, you know.
But then you have to search all day for diamonds.
Yeah, I just
Some
don't.
people find it, some people don't.
They got a lot of mosquitoes there in Arkansas.
Oh, where is it?
Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sarah's found,
It is in the middle of the country.
and it's got a lot of mosquitoes. Yeah.
I know.
She is allergic to mosquitoes, so
Yes,
we
I
found that out this
definitely
summer.
know.
Hey, there's been a serious situation: 3 dead, 2 missing. BC case. Here's what we know about the 3 dead, 2 missing in northern British Columbia. Serious stuff happening. A beautiful woman and her husband or boyfriend died on the left. Their bodies were found. The 2 guys on the right are missing and at large right now. But it doesn't look like they're the perps. They may very well have been hijacked by the real perps. And another death of another person, a body has been found. These are the 2 that were out there and that have died. Terrible loss. A beautiful couple, really, and really sad. They were out there investigating hot springs in British Columbia. I mean, who wouldn't want to go on a date looking at a hot spring, right? But the burning truck where the missing men were their truck was found burning. They found a body down the street from their truck, and the body is of this old guy. So they're still missing. Either why would they set fire to their own truck, though? That doesn't make any sense. So I think that these guys have been hijacked by somebody else. I think there's a serial killer going on in British Columbia. So lock your doors. I know a lot of you Canadians don't. Yeah, I know. They live in Canada. So, we don't have to lock our doors, Dave. Yeah, you do. Zeno, no, I'm not driving through Kansas. No, I rerouted away from Wichita because of the murder of that innocent family from the swatting. I didn't want to be anywhere near the Wichita police. When I found out about the murder, that cop just shot that guy right in the head. Some innocent guy opened his door and said, "Huh?" And then they were telling him to keep his hands up, and he had his hands up like this, and they went like that, and then they put a bullet right through his heart. Hey, it's back on. Anthony Weiner and Uma Abadan are moving in together. And we still didn't find out about those 600,000 emails that he allegedly had on his hard drive and his laptop. Some of them, they say, could reveal secrets about Uma and Hillary that are very damning. Okay. He's set to testify, Robert Mueller is.
Committees this week. Republicans promise tough questions, while Democrats say they'll focus on evidence of wrongdoing by President Trump. Puerto Rico could see one of its biggest protests yet. Hundreds of thousands of demonstrators are expected to shut down a busy highway Monday as they push the territory's governor to resign. Israel is demolishing dozens of Palestinian homes in East Jerusalem. Israel says they're too close to the West Bank border. Residents say they had legitimate Palestinian Authority permits to build. And tens of thousands
Okay, Israel
of homes
fanning
and
the flame of
businesses
aggression
lost power
again
in New
by
York
knocking
City
down
amid a
homes in
brutal
Palestine.
heat wave. Some people had
And yeah, it just goes on, the beat goes on and on. Now Trump is out against these four women that are apparently his big nemesis. This is all controlled opposition, folks. These women like Ilhan Omar and Ocasio-Cortez, they've been put in power to be the scapegoats of the liberal left. This is all about dividing the country, and these women don't represent the progressives in this country. They just represent the people that Trump hates. And it's all a big scam. Thanks for sending that picture. It says a lot, man. Appreciate it. Hey, we got gang members in the room threatening people in my area, unfortunately. Laser engraved with Trump sells for $15. A pack, 10-pack of BPA free. Really? Okay. Hairball. Okay. Yeah, well, whatever. We're here to take in question marks. Some people just don't want to talk. Four angry women, danger, danger, yeah. They're just scapegoats. All these women are. The liberal left and the alt-right want to get together and hate each other every night. And Mike Wallace went over to Fox. Did you see that? And he acts like this total raging pussy, a Democratic pussy. And all these Fox supporters are going, I don't understand why Mike Wallace is acting like a pussy. Yeah. You know? It's like Mike Wallace is so far up Obama's you-know-what that I can't even describe it. And of course he's going to hate on Trump. So why did Fox take him on? Because they want Democrats to look at the Fox show. They don't get enough Democrats watching the Fox network. I did not mean to mention the word pussy. No. I was reciting our president when he said, oh, all you got to do is grab them by the pussy, when he was talking to Billy Bush. That was just a quote, man. Sick. Sick, sick. That's their perv president for you. Now time for cowbell. As you know, our entire show is designed around a platform of virtual reality, guaranteeing that if we come into the show, you leave with a positive message. And one of those messages is, cowbell, it's what's for dinner. Let's take a look. Cowbell on tap here at the show. Now Trump is so kind that he says he could win the Afghanistan war in a week and wipe them off the planet, but he doesn't want to kill 10 million people. Okay? That's nice of him. The problem is there's 35 million people, or 40 million people in Afghanistan, so which 10 million is he going to actually kill? I don't know. I mean, he can't even get the population of Afghanistan right. This guy is the worst president we've ever had, folks. I mean, what are we doing here? The Democrats can't impeach him. He's the worst. Look at this. 35 million in Afghanistan, and he says there's 10 million people in Afghanistan. He can't even get that right. That was a 2017 stat. Duh. I knew there was not 10 million people living in Afghanistan. Thank you, though, Trump 2018. True Blue 2018. You know, I believe that they may very well implement a pandemic like Ebola. That's one of the big worries of the conspiracy world, is they're planning on emitting an Ebola-like pandemic, or the new bubonic plague. Yeah, have you heard about that one? Hey, Scissor Fight, good evening. Welcome. Yeah, we've got things to talk about tonight. I know. I usually do an expanded show on our late, when we have a good connection at a hotel room, and I'm going to do that tonight a little bit. Sarah doesn't mind, or I hope you don't. Well, I may talk a little bit longer, so you may want to put the headset on or something, and your black, eye muffs, whatever. People in the 60s, I better not say that or the government will wiretap my house. People today, hey, wiretap, do you have a recipe for pancakes? Hey, Siri, could you get me hey, Alexa, could you get me a recipe for pancakes? Yeah, isn't that funny? We really did worry in the 60s, I better not say that or the government will wiretap my house. People today, hey, wiretap, do you have a recipe for pancakes? I'm sorry, I don't have one. Belgium waffles are the only recipe I have. Stream dead? No, we're broadcasting full volume. We are being dropped. We have encountered some dropped frames on our VPN. Our VPN is being DDoSed right now as we speak. Let me check, make sure. Yep, it is. So if you're seeing a delay in the show, it's because the VPN is being DDoSed. I can't control that. I mean, they literally are trying to stop our show at every level because I reveal the truth. Pretty serious when the Pentagon is caught paying $540 million for green screen beheadings. Remember those fake green screen beheadings that happened about 8 years ago? Yeah, that was all the government trying to pretend like we were getting attacked overseas to justify the war in Afghanistan. I mean, Trump never addressed these issues. I did. I'm the only guy who's been talking about how Afghanistan is all about heroin production and how the CIA benefits $50 billion a year from the heroin that's sold out of the cartels, the Taliban approved cartels. It's a very serious thing that's going on in Afghanistan, and it's going to lead to overdoses among kids today of heroin and derivatives of heroin and morphine, opium, that type of thing. You don't care. Okay, whatever. Well, at least you know now that heroin is a big profit industry for the CIA, and the government doesn't want you to know. And the poppy fields definitely feed Big Pharma. Good point there. Big Pharma's got a stake in cheap morphine. Oh yeah, you got that right. You better believe it. Oh yeah. So right now we've got a lot of things happening in our country. It's not good. I understand they're working on the Lincoln Memorial. They've got these new animated hands that flip people off when they get near it. It's pretty good. Just kidding. It was supposed to be a joke, but whatever. You had your cowbell today. Only one cowbell per family. Hey, welcome to the new island of my mind. This is where I wanted to be the entire summer, and there are no mosquitoes on this island. It's actually a real island, believe it or not. It's a 17-mile island. It stretches way behind my head here. It's the island of Taha. Hey, good luck with that. Yeah, I don't think that would work out too well for you. I miss my cooking shows too. I made a humdinger tonight. Oh yeah, I'm using this Annie's. I told you, Annie's macaroni and cheese, organic. Well, I have considered taking Sarah to an island. I just can't find one without any mosquitoes. That's the problem. So I put the Annie's mac and cheese together with a can of black beans, organic black beans, made by the O brand, and then an onion and carrots and some snap peas, and Mix it all together and boom. I didn't even need to see it. Well, I added some bacon to it and chicken. So. Oh, wow. Federal budget would raise spending. Okay. Well, let's be clear. New York Times. Continue. No, I don't want to order this. Well, it's good to know that the federal budget would raise spending by $320 billion. Well, that's pretty typical. The Trump administration to expand fast-track deportations across the U.S. Oh, nice. So pretty much the federal budget's going to raise spending by we're already at $1 trillion over budget, but they want to spend another $320 billion. Why not take it up to $1,300 million over budget? Oh, it's just unbelievable. We're going to be at 1.3 trillion over budget next year. Thank you. Yeah. I mix beans and mac and cheese and chicken from canned chicken. Yeah. Who are you? Why are you here? Yeah. It actually works great. It's a kind of an alternate vegan paleo diet. For those of you who don't have it in you to be 100% vegan, you can be paleo when you want it. It is disgusting, but it looked pretty bad, but it tasted okay. I'll tell you, it was better than nothing. Carrots and cheese work, yeah, you bet. They're good for your eyes too, Zeno. Poor Zeno, he fell into the trap of being an incel. Many of you have been brainwashed to become incels. Throughout your whole life, you've been isolated, thinking that your real life was buried in your laptop, your iPod. For many of you grew up with iPods, so now you have your iPhones. But I know raw liver has a lot of vitamin A. I don't eat raw liver. But the bottom line is, if you are trying to break out of that mold of being an incel and want to go against the programming that's been going on in your life for many years, you have to realize that all this has been embedded in your brain, this idea that if you sit there in a coffee shop and look at your iPod or your iPhone, you're like communicating with somebody. It's like, no, the person you need to communicate is next to you. You actually have to lift your head and talk directly to that person, not spend time looking cool on your iPhone. I'm a total cool nerd. Yeah, everyone likes to talk to me. Da, da, da. It's like you're deceiving yourself. Presidents don't set the budget. Congress does. We know that. That's why I'm complaining that the Congress is now set at 300 plus billion over with the 1 trillion mark. I mean, hello. Just wake up, people. The Democrats and Republicans are both wasting money left and right. It's not just one side or the other. No. Somewhere inside of you is a really beautiful person. Under the layers of subcutaneous fat that you've acquired from eating lots of pizzas every day and not worrying about the outcome, there's a really beautiful person inside of there. And you know the secret to getting out of that incel trap that you're in is touch. Human touch. So even if you're all fat and pudgy, you should reach out and touch somebody. Seriously. Just don't touch them in an indecent way. Don't touch yourself. Stop touching yourself and start touching someone else. Ask to shake hands with some woman. I mean, what are you going to lose? Ask the woman, can you read my palm, and then show her ketchup on your palm. No, terrible. That wouldn't work. Sarah, you can turn that light off. It's okay. Really, I mean it. That light in particular. I want you to get some sleep there next to your...
After I'm done with my weird show,
I don't think so. You guys are so afraid of touching a woman's hand. They can't possibly claim that you're violating their sexuality by touching their hand. Come on. It's ridiculous. But do ask to do so. I met a woman who was so messed up mentally back before I met Sarah, and it was weird. She was like a 25-year-old virgin who said to me that she would meet me, and she wanted me to know that I would have to ask to touch her hand in advance. Talking to a woman in public is harassment if you're ugly. That's ridiculous. No, human touch will bridge past that. Yeah. You'd be surprised how hard up some of these lonely, beautiful women are to just that feeling of human touch. Touch her with your hand, but on her hand. Not on any other part, not like Trump, your president, who wants them to touch them by another means. Yeah. Don't walk up behind and grab them. No, but ask them, can I touch you? Can I touch you? Don't like walk up to her with a vat of KY jelly and that's inappropriate. Very inappropriate. But just, you got to broach this subject, guys. I mean, you got incels in here who've been brainwashed to be completely without a woman, without a future, without ever replicating. At 60 years of being isolated and never having sex, MRB says, I'm pretty much over the woman thing. Well, good for you. No, don't make any sexual advance. Just the hand touch is all you need. And then the mind starts thinking, is like, why did that guy touch my hand? Doesn't he know that it's very improper? And I don't mean grab her hand, I just mean touch, But do ask, may I touch your hand? Whatever. It's tough to get past this huge barrier. You can turn the light off, sir. Like I said, you don't need it on. Yeah, she's so tired she can't even turn it off. No, it's not a hairpiece. This is my real hair. No, it's not appropriate to smell people in public. Only Howie does that, and it's very. He wonders why he can only get what trim, he calls it. Welcome to the show. Welcome to my playland, where I'm in the island of Taha. I'm out the island at the forefront of this island. Yeah, I mean, may I touch you, madame? No, dude, nobody's ugly. You have no idea. Yeah, I mean, I had an opportunity to meet Nancy Cartwright. And look what could have happened to me if I had just thought that she was attractive and said, Nancy, you're such a beautiful young lady. Yeah. I don't even have pictures of her that young. She was only 20 when I met her, but she looked 12. Had I thought that she was attractive, think of where I would be right now. I'd be probably one of the characters on Bart. Yeah. But man, she sure looked like a 12-year-old when I met her. There's no pictures of Nancy Cartwright when she's young. That's so weird. Oh man, that's really freaky. There's not one young picture of her. I think she paid to have her entire face and persona mapped off the internet. Now there's only these pictures of, the glamour shots of Nancy Cartwright. But yeah, I could have met her and talked to her and said, oh, you're Nancy. And I think she got married and had a kid. Yeah. She's worth like $65 million, all from the Simpsons, and God forbid that what a joke of a show that was. Right. Donald Trump married Melania when she was 20. It doesn't matter. There's always somebody out there for you. NancyCartwright.com has a picture of her in her bio. Okay. Oh my gosh, she has her own bio site like she's a fan. Like she's got fans. Oh, that's so funny. More about Nancy. Wow, look at her. Yeah, I met her when she was only 20 years, and she looked 12. So what can I say? There's no pictures of her when she was really young. Yeah, this is the About Nancy section, and how she started playing with dolls. I bet she won't even admit it. Yeah. Anyway, she's been a remarkable success. Many of you love her voice as Bart. I won't tell you anything more than that, other than the conspiracy theory that the entire show was a stolen idea. Yeah, allegedly. Matt Groening grabbed the idea from a guy named Yeah, Jeffrey. Yeah. And I'm just making an allegation because it really seemed weird to me. Jeffrey gave me photographs of what appeared to be Bart Simpson, cartoons that he'd written, and he said that he'd taken them to a guy named Matt Groening. Yep. Well, I'll never forget how dejected he was. Because Matt Groening was the art director at the Santa Monica Outlook at the time. And Jeffrey was so dejected. I know his last name, I'm not going to tell you for maintain his anonymity. But Jeffrey was a friend of mine, and he was so dejected that all of his cartoons were rejected by this guy, Matt Groening. The next week, literally, Matt Groening started Life in Hell with the same character, which happened to look a lot like Bart Simpson. I was a witness to this. It's like history in the making. It's amazing how many people, are able to promote an idea that maybe somebody gave them. I'm not saying he did take the idea. I'm saying it could be a conspiracy theory. No, I won't feature the ncels.co. William. Caution, Mr. Anderson. Remember Mr. Smith? He was such a frightened guy. Go back, Mr. Anderson. Anyway, Mr. Smith. Hey, let's move on because I'm getting a little bit bored by my own conversation with myself.
That happens.
Like you said, David, all recent pro photos. Yeah, there's nothing new with Nancy Cartwright. When I met her, she was just this amazingly innocent-looking little girl. And I actually felt a little weird, thinking she was like really younger than me, when she was 3 years older than me at the time, playing with her dollies. The moral of the story is, if you really liked doing something like she did, giving voices to her little dollies, you're going to be successful eventually, or you'll be in a mental hospital or a Scientologist with a really big career. Yeah, she doesn't want anyone to see her when she was young. She had some facial reconstructive surgery. Because when I met her, she was really kind of a pathetic. Pathetic would be the word. I actually pitied her. I walked out of there going, oh my God. People thought she could do voices. I was like, oh man. Takes all kinds. And then I find out later she was an instant success. Hey, nothing against Scientology. Yeah. I know. It's kind of bright out here in the island of Taha. But yeah, we're reaching the point where we're not really interested in anything Trump says, because he's going through the same gambit of things constantly. Threatening Iran, threatening Afghanistan, threatening China, threatening Japan, and saying he's going to make friends with North Korea anytime that Putin tells him to meet. And then going through the same thing over and over again. This is going to be, until 2020, this is going to be the whole routine. Threaten Iran, threaten Afghanistan, and talk about how he's doing the best he can to do, and they won't let him give him the money for the wall. I had this Trump supporter tell me that Trump's been given, he said he wants the money and they won't give him the money to build the wall. No, they offered him, the Democrats offered Trump $25 billion for the wall early on, as long as he approved the DACA group of people and grandfathered them in. He refused. No, I won't do that. I won't allow the dreamers to be, no. Good night, Sunstar. Sleep well. Physically addicted to cannabis. Wow, that's sad. You're probably a guy who should move to Nevada and try mushrooms. I understand they're legalizing them in Nevada. Anyway, yeah, you needed to get out of that mode. Try moving to Nevada. Yeah. Anyway, it's been difficult to maintain just the semblance of some cohesive thought regarding Trump when all he does is the same thing over and over again, and we've already been through the gambit of things that are popping up. Now our only ray of sunshine is that Robert Mueller may actually say and urge for impeachment. But what shocks me is that Robert Mueller said he would never testify again, acting like he was above the law, And he didn't fulfill the case against Trump. He never followed up on the 10 years of tax returns that Trump had said, oh, I'd gladly show you my tax returns, no problem, but never will. He never followed up on the Paul Manafort case of money laundering with all the payments of Russian oligarchs buying property in Florida, Trump property at triple its cost, which means that Mueller is hiding the embezzlement and schemes and all the money laundering schemes. He never had any data on the 2013 FBI investigation into Trump Hotel, where the FBI did a sting operation on money launderers, Russian money launderers. I'd like to know if those guys had a free room, if Trump comped them their room. I don't know. There's no data on that. I've had one wisdom tooth extracted. It was pretty much rotten at the age of 45, so I said, go ahead and pull it out. Can we get that back? No. We're not going to be able to give amnesty to anybody, especially after the Democrats lose election after election. Okay, we got a confrontation between a Democrat and another Democrat. Georgia State Rep and customer face off over verbal abuse accusation. Okay, let's go there.
I don't care what you are. If anybody comes up to you and calls you a son of a, I am facing the man that degraded me and berated me, and I'm not crying. No, I'm not. I'm standing right in front of you. And if you know how you made me feel yesterday, if you know how you made my daughter feel,
back off before I call the police.
Call the police right now, because they are looking for you.
I already talked to them. I already talked to them.
It's okay. I am so happy that you're here, and I'm happy that everybody needs to see this man that did this to me. And he thinks that he gets a 5 minutes of fame. You think that you're going to come up when you see police, when you see SB 46, you think you're going to come up here and get a spotlight? No, you're not.
Well, I don't know about you, lady, but you just gave him the spotlight on YouTube big time. That's going viral, baby. Yeah, he'd be all over YouTube, man. All over YouTube. Yeah. They're pulling another Juicy Smollett, I know. Whatever. Hey there, Push and Toe. Good to see you're in. Yeah, well, I'm living the life, man. It's been great here on the island. Yeah, we saw a little stinger of the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood trailer with Tom Hanks today. Whatever that's worth.
So nice to meet you.
Oh, my childhood.
And that one of them is precious. You be mine? Could you be mine?
I don't know. Why is Tom Hanks playing a guy who's never ever been a pedo? You know, doesn't that seem like an improper application? I know. Top Gun 2 looks great. I mean, Val Kilmer made an appearance with his mouth. I can't talk about the $25 college paper. No, I can't do that tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll look forward to it. Terrible casting. Oh yeah, I mean, Val Kilmer, he could barely even talk. He's just recently got out of throat surgery from, his cancer treatment. Yeah, ask me tomorrow about the $25 thing. I'll be in a better mood. Poor Sarah has to put up with all this every night when I do the show. But it's okay. Yeah. I know, the bad casting was not me talking. It was Hanks for Mr. Rogers. I know. Well, I would have been a better Mr. Rogers, I think. But I didn't have the time to do that. Can you say hacking of the computer mainframe? Oh, you got scissorfied, looked up Nancy Cartwright as Marion Rose.
What about you?
Oh my gosh, you've got an early picture of her. This is when she was wined and dined by the top elitists. She married a producer for a while. Yeah, she's such a sweetie.
What about you?
What do you think?
Everyone thinks I'm different.
Different? You bet your life you're different. You're my kid. You're a fighter just like me. It's not going to be easy for you either, you know. You gotta...
Wow, that really does look like the girl that I met, but take about 10 years off of that and put her at like 12 years old. Yeah, I was really shocked. I've never seen a more pathetic person in my life than Nancy Cartwright playing with her dollies. Hey, Rumpelstiltskin, what do you mean what happened? I don't get it. You tell me. I'm not losing a lot of weight, no. My bouncing treatment, I call them bouncing Pilates, really are all about gaining weight. I'm shuffling the food in my stomach so that it properly digests. Hey, thanks for finding that little tidbit about Nancy Cartwright. She does look a lot weirder at that time, I must say. She graduated from Kettering Fairmont High School, but there's no picture of her. Yeah. You know, she had her entire picture taken out of Kettering. See that? So you're looking for Nancy Cartwright, and it's missing. See that? So she paid a lot of money to have her pictures purged from the yearbook. She doesn't want anyone to look at her and see what I saw on the carpet that day. I've never seen a more pathetic picture in my life. It was beyond belief. I mean, it was a 20-year-old girl going, "Look at me and my dollies. I'm playing with my dollies." It's like, this is the woman that should get $65 million for sounding like a little boy? What kind of a transgender world are we living in? Anyway, it makes me sick that people like that profit from ideas that other people may have actually given them. Yeah, I mean, I hate to tell you, but not everything is what it seems. This isn't the first time I've heard of people taking ideas. I worked on a screenplay back in 1988 that turned into a movie within a year, and I was never mentioned. I wrote the entire screenplay. I have the actual raw edition of it. Some guy stole it from me, some production guy. He claimed he was co-authoring it with me, and somehow he got it to the right people, and they turned it into a movie, and I never got a penny. No, she was doing the Bard voice according to her back in high school, yeah. Yep, she said had the "Don't Have a Cowman" totally. No, Nancy was in full-blown Bart mode when I met her. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never seen anything more pathetic in my life. She was talking to her dollies were talking to each other in various voices and nuances of the Bart character. There you go. She was doing voices like that back when you met her. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying anything bad about Nancy Cartwright. I'm saying that it's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. And to this day, I'll never forget how absolutely sad it was. And here she becomes really famous doing it. Hey, I'm glad you had a history with her. I'm not the only person who met her when she was young. I'm not getting more pale. No, it's the lighting. I've got all this terrible, awful lighting. It's got the worst lighting on earth. I asked Sarah to turn the light off, but she never did. So I've got to do that. Let me do that. See what I mean? Hang on. Okay. That's minimal lighting. That's as good as I can get it. Let me get the mic closer too. Okay. We'll get a little bit more of an intimate show here. But yeah, that's minimal lighting. It does pretty well with low light. So I'm just going to let it do that. That way at least she can sleep. Dave, if you run for president, you have the gay vote covered. I'm not gay, man. Why would I be gay? 12-hour diet. Hi, Inventor Jim. How are you? Abner, 17, describes 11 days of hunger and thirst at Yuma's border station. Wow. So this is really happening down there. I saw this Stephen Miller talk on television today. He's such a sociopath. He acts like he could care less about all the starving people that are down there at the border. Like Abner, age 17. Abner said he gave food to younger migrant kids so they wouldn't go hungry, saw a guard hit a boy, and drank from the sink by cupping his unwashed hands. Oh, poor Abner. Here he is. Abner said he and other older migrant kids jammed into a cell at the Yuma border station and would give younger kids space to lie on the floor when they slept sitting or standing up. Can you believe the atrocities going on right now? Some of you Republicans don't give a crap about anything. Yeah, you act like Trump's doing a good job with the border. What a bunch of scumbags you are. Listen to this. Abner, a 17-year-old Guatemalan boy, vividly recalls the first 48 hours he spent inside the U.S. Border Patrol station in Yuma, Arizona. He was awake for all of them because there was no space to lie down. Packed into a cell with other children. I never had any knowledge of this. I had to stay almost 2 days like this standing. I didn't sleep, and they didn't treat me well because I would ask for at least food or water or something to cover myself with, and they would deny it. I'm telling you, these stories about human tragedy, this is exactly what was going on with Hitler and the Jews. And here Trump is doing the same thing, and you Trump-tards are acting like a bunch of German Nazis who think, oh, nothing's going on, oh no, everything's fine, oh. Yeah, right. Trump has completely created a huge crisis. Stephen Miller has created this crisis. Yeah, the Himmler of Trump's cabinet, the Heinrich Himmler, push and toe. Read that again. Would you walk in a gay? I'm not gay. No, I would never walk in a gay parade. I don't support LGBTQ. You do. My eyes are almost blue. They're so green. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I can see how blue my eyes are in this low lighting. It actually works better with low lighting. I went to a bar with a girlfriend I had back in the 80s, and she took me to a lesbian bar up in North Hollywood. So yeah, I've been to a gay bar. It was a lesbian bar. It was different, I think she just wanted to experiment, be seen with lesbians. She was kind of she was a Hollywood producer, television person. Yeah, I dated some pretty important people. She was a producer for Merv Griffin, I believe. She's like a salesperson or something. Okay. Well, I think the 2 Border Patrol guards that died a couple weeks ago were shot in the head. There wasn't a suicide. I think they're covering that up. I do. I really believe that they were shot in the head. Witnesses are always shot in the head. People who are standing on the border and they just can't take it anymore, they both got killed the same day, 300 miles apart. That doesn't make sense. No doubt they saw some atrocities and said they were going to say something, and their commanding officer said, no, you're dead. We're going to teach everybody around here to shut their mouth, and you're dead. And they just killed him. It wouldn't be that hard to prove either. I'm just not an investigating officer who's having their wings clipped. What about those 2 NYPD officers that recently allegedly shot themselves? I seriously doubt they shot themselves. They were the ones that were privy to the Anthony Weiner's 600 emails. 600,000 emails. They were the ones that were privy to that frazzle drip video of Abedin and Hillary Clinton. You heard about that? I've not seen it, and I won't see it, but it's unbelievable. Child torture is what they're alleging. Yeah. And those 2 NYPD officers were the ones that saw it, and now they're dead. What does that tell you? Does anybody care? I mean, it's like nobody cares about conspiracies because no one's doing any investigations into this stuff. You do care? Well, I hope you do care, because that's something I think we should all realize is part of our end game, is to awaken to what's really happening. I mean, if you go through life drinking your beer every day, thinking, oh yeah, it's all big fake news, it's all fake news, I like Trump, oh yeah, it's all fake news, your whole life will mean nothing. Your brain is pretty much fried. Yeah, Right on. Well, it's Dave in the intimate background of the TV screen. I know a lot of people, young people today, are snowflakes, are blaming the boomer generation for everything. Boomers are no different than you. You're more demanding and entitled than they are. You'll be worse. You snowflakes will be worse than the boomers. Yeah, blame it on the boomers. Yeah, but it's true. I mean, the snowflake generation, not only do they not care about anybody else but themselves, but they expect everything to be given to them. So it's not like you can blame it on the boomers. You can blame it on yourself. Well, let's be clear. You know, I'm not here to show support for LGBTQ, okay? I'm, in fact, building a campaign against the idea of supporting LGBTQ. I don't want to discriminate, but I don't want to actually endorse anyone having their genitals taken off. There's something tells me that that's wrong. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but chopping your penis off? Creating a vagina? Seriously? That's supposed to be something kids will want to even think about? I mean, seriously. Well, I know. That's why I stepped out of the LGBTQ, because they were planning on adding the P for pedophile. You tell him, Dave. You tell him, Dave. I just don't think that we need to endorse that behavior among children in this or another life. Let me try a different light over here. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Let me go over here. Hold on. Hey, there you go. Thank you. See, I've got color. I can talk at a low level with my mic, my mini mic. I can do a little ASMR and that kind of thing. RUMR? Army let slip that it's conducting secret operation around D.C. Ooh. Well, this is exciting. Who doesn't want to have a secret operation going on around D.C.? Okay, I'm going to get that link in just a second. I somehow lost it. Army let slip that it's conducting a secret operation around D.C. Black Hawk copters working on emerging classified mission. Service asked Congress for an extra $1.55 million for the project. The Pentagon has revealed a few details about a secret Army mission that has Black Hawk helicopters flying missions over D.C. area backed by active duty and reserve soldiers. This is very similar to what happened in L.A. about 3 years ago. Remember that? In 2016, they had a Black Hawk helicopter operation over a medical supply location in Los Angeles. Some people thought that they were actually transporting, that alleged hormone supplement. Yeah. It's called, adrenochrome. You heard about that? Anyway, back to the story. The mysterious classified operation was disclosed when the Army asked Congress for approval to shift funds to provide an extra $1.55 million for aircraft maintenance, air crews, travel, in support of an emerging classified flight mission. It's a $2.5 billion request this month to reprogram funds in the current fiscal year's budget. Soldiers from assault helicopters. Check this out. And aviation maintenance units will be supporting the mission with 10 UH-60s and maintenance capabilities for 4 months. Referring to the Black Hawks. Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility Division of Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Wow, this is happening around D.C. Okay, thank you. We are returning to an 8-hour cast coming up. I had a 9-hour cast, and I'm truncating it to from 5 to 1. So it's going to 5 to 1, our show. It will be coming back in early August. Yes. It'll be 5 to 10 live, and then from 10 to 1, just videos. Because I have to get to bed a little earlier, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing a lot of stuff in Virginia, and I just don't know why all the Black Hawk helicopters. It doesn't make any sense. Sarah is she starts teaching in late August. She has to be back, kind of getting ready, oriented, and stuff. Yeah, so we'll be on track pretty soon. But travel has been very difficult. It's not as easy, especially with the temperatures reaching 100 degrees. It's been pretty tough. Yeah. Thank you for that link, Scissor Fight. Yeah, good to know that they're doing this in D.C. Dave, will you still be in the chat for interactive chat after 10 to 1? Yes. Yeah, I always stay in the shows to watch the videos with you guys. I love that stuff. I'll be casting 5 hours a night. The same schedule I've been doing for years. This is the summer schedule, 6 to 8, 2 hours a night. 5 days a week. So I'll be bringing back the Saturday show too, coming up. A woman pushes the priest Marcelo Rossi from the stage. Ooh, Reptoid.
Não é mais minha. E essas mãos não mais me pertencem. Pecadoras, fracas, mas essas mãos pertencem a Jesus. Tanto que o sacerdote age na pessoa de Cristo. Para servir, para abençoar.
Glória a Deus. Maria passou na frente, pisou na cabeça da serpente. Estou ótimo. PHN 2020. PHN.
You know, I'm not going to cater to the Catholic enclave here tonight, because I think you're going through a lot right now, not wondering, but knowing full well that the Pope Francis is supporting Lucifer, as you know, in his readings and recitations in Latin. Yeah, well, that's the Vatican priest. The Latin Mass that they do at the Vatican includes the word Lucifer. And many Catholics are just kind of freaking out about that. Yeah. And of course, let's not forget the snake building they built. The snake Vatican building. I mean, no one can answer at the Vatican why they built this. But here it is. Yeah, it's in the shape of the snake head. And I don't know what the heck it's all about. What's it all about? That's very dark. Yeah, let's see how dark it is. Let me get this video for you here. This image is very shocking. What you're about to see is a picture of the Vatican. The new building that they built a few years ago. It looks just like the head of a snake. Isn't that amazing? And you go inside and see it looks just like the face of a snake. So why would they do that? What would be their purpose? Why would the Vatican do that? Unless they were worshiping dark forces. Forces of evil that lurk in the minds of Pope Francis. Yeah, I just don't know if I can trust anybody like that. You know, I'm open to Justin Nash. Yes, I want to certainly keep things open. You know, if we can get a conversation going with him, that'd be great. I'm doing a little bit of time here because I'm in kind of a stealth mode with my slow voice, and it's mellifluous, and it's putting Sarah to sleep, so she enjoys sleeping during this time period. Yeah, and I'm here at Lake Tahoe, or the island of Tahoe. Yes. You take the lime and the coconut and rub it all over. I would never ask Justin Nash to run with me. No. Yes. This is me. I shaved about an hour ago. think I need a better razor, though. Yeah, the land of really life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That was why our government was created, by the way, to ensure that we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Instead, we got losers, liars, and corrupt pigs. Yeah, I was quite shocked that that was essentially written into our Constitution. Whoa. Many believe that these two people are worshiping dark forces too, and probably have a lot of answering to do regarding the 147 people on the Clinton death count. You know, I shave with the grain. Yeah, I try to avoid shaving away from the grain. When you do, it pulls your skin cells up. And you know, being you're a skin cell, I'm an incel. You don't want to lose your skin cells, being you're an incel. Well, you can do both, but then you're wearing your skin out in both directions. See, the goal is to build strength against gravity. Otherwise, your face will bend over and, you know, look like your ass in about 5 or 6 years. Okay, any other questions? Great. I'll give you some more time. I don't mind. Well, it's been a tough trip. I've told you that. I haven't told you how tough. Yeah, that's the problem. That's where the devil is in the details. Yeah, it's been really trying, but I got through it, luckily, with the help of my friend. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Like Ringo Starr. Yeah, so there he was, James Holmes, charged with the crime of the Aurora, Colorado shooting when all these false flags started. Remember that? 50 terrorist attacks ago? Well, they had the wrong guy. It's a total cover-up. It has been ever since the beginning. From Aurora, Colorado on, we've been dealing with lies. And yet everybody's out there saying, oh, if you believe that, then you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh. I'm streaming in whatever I can get, Maverick. I didn't know Ron Jeremy, but I saw him being pulled over on the highway and on the Hollywood freeway one day. Yeah. My house is on an island. No, it's not Orgy Island. This is the island of Taha. You have to laugh when you say it. I live on Taha. It's literally spelled that way. I saw Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. We played the loop, and unfortunately I can't play any more of it because he's starting to make me sick. What is the conspiracy? I don't get that. Ron was at a local joint, so people just want to be around a guy with multiple levels of syphilis. I mean, my house is under surveillance, but I can't be there right now. We're taking trips around the country. I can't tell you where I am because I'm under, obviously, death threats and everything. So we have to do our show incognito through a VPN so no one can find where we locate. That's all I can do. Hey, this thing with Jeffrey Epstein may heat up. Hopefully. And they're saying that he may have enough information that could lay it out for like 2,000 different pages are being revealed. I know. It's a good thing. A woman saw a man in a heated exchange with a murdered tourist couple. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah. Let's take a look at this.
We begin tonight with new details about the double murder of 2 tourists in northern BC. As police continue the hunt for a suspect, we're hearing from the man who led Mounties to the bodies and a woman who claims to have seen the victims arguing with someone on the side of the highway. CTV's Ben Milger reports.
Road worker Trevor Pierre made the grisly discovery early Monday morning, a pair of bodies on a remote section of Highway 97.
In the ditch was a lady first, young lady, and maybe 5 meters behind was the gentleman. He had no shoes. The young lady had one.
Aussie Lucas Fowler was on his way to Alaska with his American girlfriend China Dees when their van broke down Sunday about 20 kilometers south of Liard Hot Springs near the Yukon border. RCMP have not said how they died, but Pierre described a gruesome crime scene.
I don't know how anybody could live with themselves after doing what I saw.
Fowler had been living in BC since February, working on a cattle ranch.
Became part of our family and was a good employee, had a good heart.
According to his former boss, Fowler was mechanically inclined and fixed up this blue 1986 Chevy van for his road trip with Dees.
He was a very good employee. Both had very good hearts and souls. There wasn't a bad bone in either one of them. They wouldn't hurt a fly. So it's quite the shock.
RCMP have not released any details about a possible motive or suspects. Alandra Hall drove past the couple Sunday evening and says she saw a bearded man speaking to them in what appeared to be a heated exchange.
To me, he kind of looked frustrated or something, like he was just kind of standing like this and like just looking at them.
Hull claims the couple appeared bothered by the man and the interaction made her uneasy.
You just get a bad feeling, and that's what I had. You just don't stop. You had a bad feeling? I did, yeah.
She says RCMP asked her to help with a composite sketch of the man as they continue to search for Dees and Fowler's killer. Ben.
Well, there you have it, folks. Yeah. Don't take trips to hot springs in British Columbia. Yeah, these 2 guys were missing as well. They have not been found. But strangely enough, they found the body of this guy, who appears to be a bearded man. So was this the guy that was confronting them, that may have hurt them? And did they kill this man and then burn their truck and run? Are these 2 the guys that are just saved the day by killing that guy, and now they're on the run thinking that they're going to be charged with murder because they got rid of the bearded man? I don't know. This is like an Angela Lansbury twist. You know, you don't know who done it. But this is getting very strange, I must say. Pierre is suspect. Okay. Good to know. Legendary Manhattan District Attorney Robert Morgenthau died at age 99. Wow. New York prosecutor who battled the mafia passed away. 99 years. Hey, that's not bad. 99 years old. He made it. That's good. I think Jack LaLanne lived to be 99. Trump's second state dinner is scheduled for September. Who cares? Here's the case. Jeffrey Epstein may expose the rich and powerful if the judge unseals 2,000 pages. Okay, well, I hope this works out. You can turn that light off, Sarah. I've got this one over here. Yeah, documents are from a civil lawsuit filed by an Epstein accuser against his one-time companion, Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine. There they are, him and Ghislaine and Trump and Melania. Oh, good friends. Oh yeah, Ghislaine and Melania together with Trump. You know, I don't buy it when Trump said he hardly ever, he doesn't like him anymore. He never, yeah. I think he had him over at Mar-a-Lago in 2016. In fact, I know he did. I remember when they announced that Jeffrey Epstein was visiting Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago in 2016. I remember that. I have a good memory for the news. Now I have to look it up and find it. Did Peter North get AIDS? Really? Did he? Ping Wiglow? Does Peter North have AIDS? Yes, I have 264,000 viewers. No, it could be million too, Zeno. You don't know. But did Peter North have AIDS? Because I don't know. I mean, he may have gotten it from doing porn, don't you think? I think there's no standards at all in the porn industry. They literally don't expect people to wear condoms or anything. You probably like to blame yourself for watching porn, but it's actually produced for free for you by the Ashkenazis to try to reduce your ability to think. So all you do is masturbate all the time. But that's your choice, you know. Anyway, I think we've reached that point. We've worked it over many times. We really don't have to talk about it. Yeah. Well, this is a kind of a candid hour that we can talk and, you know, share while I struggle with low lighting. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. You know, your entire being has been zapped of your testosterone, so you don't even have a normal sex drive. The fact that you're spending all this time doing that means that you don't have the normal mindset of a person who wants to get to know a woman. So you don't exude any of the pheromones that a man, even an ugly man, would produce. Yeah, and it's not uncommon for ugly men to meet beautiful women, by the way, in case you didn't know. And the beautiful women like the ugly men because the ugly men aren't intimidating. No, there a lot of ugly men get to know beautiful women. No, it's true. If you have money, that helps, sure. Not at all, no. Have you seen, anyway, I don't want to get into details because I'm catering to you if I do, but there have been a lot of legendary ugly men married to beautiful women. Anyway, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, Phil Spector, for instance. Let's take a look at Phil Spector. He and his girlfriend / wife. Who would have ever thought that Phil Spector could find a woman as beautiful as this woman, who still stands by his side, claiming he's innocent? And of course, she has a lot of money, and so did he. But yeah, how can you say that this is a marriage made in any other way, but, you know, something about him appealed to her. Now, you know, Phil Spector is serving, 17 years for murdering somebody? She still believes in him. Yeah. She's out there pitching for him all the time. She lives in his house. He's not a very attractive man. I mean, there's hope for you, dude. Yeah. Of course, you may be spending 17 years in prison, but that's your choice. Peter North, I don't think he is a third-party member, no. I think he's an ex-porno star. You didn't like her? Well, maybe she's out dating, I don't know, but I think she's still married to Phil Spector. If he lives long enough to get out of his 17-year term on parole, it'll be a miracle. Hell, Bill Cosby will be out in about a year and a half. Aren't you excited? Just don't get around any roofies, you know, when you're seeing him. Uh-oh, text message. Great. She loves the visitations, yeah. Well, who wouldn't? They get conjugal visits. She can kind of nestle and snuggle with him with his hairdo. You know, he lost a lot of his hair now. He's in prison. It hasn't been easy. Phil Spector is, he nearly died. He got heat prostration recently. They don't even refrigerate, or they don't air condition the jail that he's in. And unfortunately, the most we can show you here is his most recent picture when he was he hasn't been doing well. I mean, he's keeping a positive attitude, though. You got to admit, he's got a positive. There's Phil right there. You see it? It's positive. You can see he's upbeat. I looked at his entire case. There's not a bit of tangible evidence. It's all circumstantial. They basically prosecuted him in the court of public opinion.
That's right, Dave. I'm here to talk about my case, but I'm not giving you the official right to talk about it, only in a biographical sense. What would you like to ask me, anybody?
Yeah, anyway, he was a musical genius, still is, and she stands by him. So, and he's not exactly good looking, so I think you have to accept the fact that you're going to find a girl someday. Just deal with it, Zena. Yeah, stop touching yourself and build up your testosterone so that women will be attracted to you. You'll start to smell like a man, like a manly man, instead of some poor douchebag who touches himself all the time. Yeah. I'm just trying to give you some tips, buddy. I'd say 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days to start as a starter. 2 to 3. Yeah. You look like Marshall Applewhite. I know. And you know, that was Phil Spector. Let's see, that's Phil Spector. Now we'll go to Marshall Applewhite. Isn't this fun? Well, we were going to talk about conspiracies, but this is so much better. That's not it. Heaven's Gate. Leader. Marshall Applewhite. There he is. There, exactly. Zooming. Here's one heck of a conspiracy theory, everybody. Are you ready for this? Yeah. I know this is hard to believe, but everybody that was killed in the Heaven's Gate suicide, it happened over a 3-day period. Yeah, 3 days. That's how long it took for everybody to die. Isn't that weird? Why would that be? They all go in together in their leisure suits and their Nike tennis shoes. Why would they all die over a 3-day period? The answer is clear. Because they didn't kill themselves. They were killed. Now, do you want to know why? Well, the conspiracy theory that I'm generating, and I'm the only person who came up with this, is that they were used by the CIA to create the early encryption software for financial exchange. What do you think? Now, here's the basis of the theory. They had a website. They still do. It's one of the fastest websites on the internet, heavensgate.com. And it's just amazing. Prior to the death of all these people at Heaven's Gate, they had a web page on their website, a 55 kbyte page. You can't say that word here. Yeah. They had a 55 kbyte page that had a disclaimer on it saying that they would never, ever kill themselves. That's just a fact. And the file disappeared the day they all died. The website, according to archive.org, the website had a footprint that was slightly larger by 55 kbytes prior to them all killing themselves. So they got rid of that page. Somebody did. It was disclaimers. What they had constructed was a fake story as to why 40 some odd people would gather every day in a house in Santa Fe, Rancho Santa Fe, down near San Diego, within an hour of the CIA headquarters. I'm on vacation, and I've got very low lighting, so you're seeing just like a fragment of my photographic self. But this is my theory, that nobody would ever just think that they're going to some planet Hale-Bopp. It's ridiculous. Oh, that's a good point, Happy Hour. Well, thanks. The tropical background makes it look better. You got something? I don't have any thoughts about him. Yeah, but the Earth exit statement is not the file. The file is missing. Yep, that's not the file. The file is missing. And it was a disclaimer file. Now, the reason why that server still works so well is somebody's manning it. When I first started on the internet, back in the, when I first started building websites in the early 90s, there was a web host out in the Midwest in Wisconsin that I think it was Domain Host. It's the same web host that mans that site right there. And he kind of went into the government territory. He does a lot of government hosting. So it's very likely that Heaven's Gate is hosted by the government. Can you get some orange? I can't get any better light than this. I don't want to wake Sarah up. I'm already in the after show 22 minutes. Yeah, I can do a lot of things with color of my face, but I can go like that and add a little color. Is that better? How about this? Is that better? Does it look better for you from your perspective? All right. Don't worry about it. It's just a upload. We're going to be uploading this, no problem. Yeah, it'll be no big deal. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you on that one conspiracy theory that I had come up with originally. And I still believe that there's something to the whole story, because why would 39 people kill themselves over a 3-day period? It's like, oh, hi, are you here for the suicide pack? Oh, well, grab some of the Kool-Aid, it's over there, and lay down with your Nike tennis shoes. I don't believe it. Have you done any fisting? Fishing? I have not, no. I refuse to get near the polluted waters tainted by chemtrails. I've noticed something on this trip. It was kind of a national tour I'm doing here, but the chemtrails are everywhere. They're not just in the Northeast or in the Northwest, in the Southeast or the Southwest. They're everywhere. Unless, of course, they're following me and spraying me as I go. I don't know. Hey, hi, Sis. But they really are in Wyoming. They're all over the place. And I know Mike Decker does a lot of videos of chemtrails in Wyoming. But when I get back to showing videos, we'll play more of those for you. Well, they were easily the best dressed death cult with the Nike and the Adidas Rocks outfits. Yeah, they really. But that's not the link, no. All of that stuff that was on Heaven's Gate was a fictionalized account of a group that met because they were a, quote, clique cult, unquote. And that is designed to give them a cover so that they could all gather together. Now, the one thing that they all shared in common was they were all basic programmers. They all programmed in BASIC, every one of them. Nowadays, they don't need a lot of basic programmers because many people are using a lot more advanced scripting than basic, but these people were the best at what they did back then. And because they probably studied a few other programming languages in the early days, they built some pretty powerful websites. And nobody knows what they did. There's not one person out there that says, oh yeah, Heaven's Gate built my website. So they were working privately. And the CIA was stationed within an hour of Rancho Santa Fe, and they would be seeking people, programmers like that. That's why I have concluded over time that they were in fact terminated because of their knowledge of the secret encryption software used in the financial sector. That's just my belief, whatever. Oh yeah. You were in the Rockies for 10 days, you didn't notice a single chemtrail? But where you live, you have chemtrails every day? Well, there are areas of Virginia that are not sprayed, but when you get closer to DC, it's all over the place. I can tell you that's a fact. Oh, you found their letter? Really? Wow, you must have gone to archive.org. Oh no, it still exists. Oh, they must have reposted it. Oh, look at them, they reposted it. Look at that. Interesting. So they must have been watching my show or something because they added the file. This didn't exist for years. Wow. No, that's not the same file. Nope. No, this is kind of a dissertation on suicide. This was the file that was posted was a disclaimer saying they would never commit suicide. Well, not that it matters, but most of the HTTPS sites are not safe. Look at Vaughn. He has CoinHive and he's HTTPS. I mean, hello. Yeah. Thanks for that link, Happy Hour, for finding it. Remember the Moonies? Oh, do I? I was solicited by the Moonies when I was in college. They would sit on the steps of Ackerman Union at UCLA, and they'd all gather in circles, and they'd just sit and smile, and they'd ask people if they'd like to go to a free dinner. And I got right in their face, man. I really, oh man, I ran them for a loop. You bet. Yeah, HTTPS is the complete fraud. I mean, they're trying to limit people's access to websites that are HTTP, like coolrock.com. I don't harvest any information from your site, from your location. I don't send any cookies out. Coolrock.com is perfectly safe, but it says unsafe because I don't have a signature. I'm not hooked up to the VeriSign signature system. And it's only because I'm using a free server to do that, and he doesn't want to do it. I don't think cryptocurrency is going to make you rich. It's a scary proposition. But if you think you're a Bitcoin guy and you want to get into it, it's too late for that. I guess Facebook has Bitcoin alternatives. Yeah, I might consider that. Really the bread and butter of our website and what we do is we keep doing it for free. That's really what it's all about. This whole internet is such a golden opportunity. As we cultivate it right now for free, we're building community, we're sharing ideas. We're actually growing in ways that the elitists can't even get near us because we have all this word of mouth, people talking about what we're doing. That's worth way more in the long run than advertisements on television. It's kind of it's becoming like a living legend, kind of, where people are like beginning to talk about it. So that in and of itself is why I do it, because I can do it and I must do it because we can't stop and we won't stop. All right? That's how it works. I know he's a cut and copy guy, but I've been told that his site has CoinHive running on it by my computer. So whatever. It's not a bad 80s commercial, but I feel like it could be. Yeah, what we do tonight uploads to YouTube, and you guys can run with it from there. This is just a travel show. Until I get back to my studio, I can't really improve my video quality. But thank you guys for watching us tonight. I do enjoy the show. That's why I do it. And if you guys don't enjoy it, then don't hang out every night. No, I don't think you're ever going to escape in Italy. You'd be better off in the Greek islands. There's too many border patrol agents in Italy. Hang out in the Greek islands, and then you will be probably free at last. So the bottom line here, folks, is the government's purpose. Now, I want you to think about this tonight when you go to bed. Don't think about Mr. Rogers. Would you like to be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor. Think about this, that the government's purpose is to preserve your pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what the government's here for, to make it so that we can all pursue our own pursuit of happiness and liberty and life. This is in the Constitution. I'm not making this up. This is what our framers have thought about for government when they first thought of government. When James Madison and Thomas Jefferson and Monroe gathered, Ben Franklin and others pieced these ideas together, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Okay? Now, for some reason, thank you, Zelfire, for some reason, our government thinks that they're above us, that they're lording over us and telling us what to do. If it impinges on our liberty and our life and our happiness, they're not doing what they need to do. I'm not sure what I believe when it comes to CoinHive 648. Some people say iVlog is CoinHived. I don't get that impression. I've seen my computer slow down with the Vaughn server. I've seen it slow down to a snail's pace with Vaughn running. So I know that's truly CoinHive working when it's sucking 95% of the juice out of your CPU. So I know he uses it. All right? Whatever. I run the pop-out chat, and if you go to coolrock.com, you can watch the pop-out chat at Vaughn and the iVlog show and read both chats simultaneously and watch the flash version of our show. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming in. We keep the show alive because it is necessary to give you guys a few hours of our show every night, because there's so many people that want me to stop, and I won't do that. So we're up and running every night, taking on these tough issues. And I don't mind doing it because it's what we have to do. Now, we are looking at a brand new political movement, stopping the two-party system eventually. But how we get there is still up for debate. All right? All right, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. We are the next wave.